Welcome back to another episode of She Gets Sit Done. We are going to be covering another Reddit post, and this is about jumping and mouthing up when greeting people. So, in this post, the person has said, I'll just wait for the screen to go up. Cool. So, in this post, the owner is saying, So, I've been working for years on attempting to train this out of my dog, but the usual techniques don't seem to click. My dog is extremely excited greeting people, especially people she's met before. She jumps, headbutts, and or soft mouths oh, sorry, or soft mouths, which can freak people out. She's a large dog. I've tried to do a regroup where she has to calm before greeting, but she winds up again. She'll be calm and gets the pats and does a sneak jump, even if the person is kneeling down while patting. I don't want to do any disciplinary training. She has a history of abuse, a rescue, so that kind of training is counterproductive. I've also tried practicing her greeting etiquette at home with me just when I walk in the door, but it's like she blacks out and when she's excited and nothing can get through. She loves people more than me, lol, and will sometimes insist on visiting her favorite people when we go on walks. But her manners are so iffy. I don't love allowing the greetings at this point because I don't want any accidental injuries, like someone being knocked over. Any tips would be appreciated.
Oh, all right. The first one is stop feeling so fucking sorry for your dog.
It's been a few years. Your dog's not a rescue anymore.
Has it been a few years? Yeah,
Yeah,
working
she's been
for
working on
years.
this issue for years.
Oh my
Oh my God,
Lord.
after a few years, honey, you need to stop. You need to change what you're doing. Also,
Yeah,
you're just letting your dog do whatever the hell they want on the walks. You said, Oh, I don't really want them to do this, but I'll let them do it anyway. You need to stop. You need to give your dog
yeah,
far
she
more
loves people
guidance.
more than me and will insist on visiting her favorite people when we go on walk. Hello, your dog is a fucking dog.
Yeah,
Why she doesn't insist on anything. You allow things. And
yeah.
I mean, this could be a really short episode because the problem is probably this, and again, this is on the Force Free Reddit. Um, she doesn't want to do any disciplinary training because the dog has an abuse background. And to me, that instantly rubs me the wrong way.
Does it though? Does it have abuse thing or is it a
Well,
rescue
there
network
is
or
that.
something?
But for the sake of this person, let's say, okay, yes, this dog legitimately has abuse background. What exactly do you think is gonna happen if you know what I mean? It's not like we're gonna say, okay, smack down the dog.
No.
It's just, but you're now just allowing your dog to do whatever the fuck it wants, whenever it wants, because in a far distant past, the dog was abused.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and we decided the dog is officially abused.
Where there's been, and also you have just created an entitled little child that just is allowed to do whatever it wants. If your dog is more interested in other people, you need to stop letting your dog meet other people. And you need to build your relationship with your dog and become more relevant. First off, you need to set rules and boundaries. It's like a child that is just allowed to do whatever the hell they want, run wherever they want, and you never give them any guidance.
Mm,
If I tell a child, oh, if a parent tells their child no, the child's not going to go, oh my God, I'm abused.
no.
Like, oh my God, like, I can't believe that. It's the same thing. This dog has the emotional capacity of a child. You need to give them guidance and tell them no. You can't just let your dog free rein and do whatever the hell they want. So,
Mm,
if you have a bit more relevancy with your dog, like you actually enforce rules, you build your relationship, and you don't let them greet everyone they want, already that's going to make some progress.
massive
Yeah.
changes. And even something as simple as uh she will be calm and gets pets and do a sneak jump, even if the person is kneeling down while petting. Well, stop telling people need to stay standing up. You just said she's a big dog.
Yeah.
Why are these people kneeling down? So that's easy to manage. Just put a fucking leash on the dog.
Yeah, so if you don't want to correct your dog, have your dog on a leash. The dog does not get to meet people until they give up. right? Until they start giving up and they're like, okay, well, I can't meet these people. You haven't told your dog off, right? And then alternatively, if you're letting the person pet her, that just adds excitement back into the dog, which then re-stimulates.
Well, you're rewarding the dog.
Yeah, right. But I mean, like, if the dog, like, say, gets touched and then they get excited, it's probably you're putting, like, touching them overstimulates them again, so they jump. So maybe an alternative is you've let your dog eventually give up, right? And you come over calmly. Instead of the person touching the dog, maybe get them to ask her to sit or something and do an alternative, right? I don't know, something like that. If you're really against telling your dog off, but I
Tell
just
people
think,
to actually legit ignore your dog.
yeah,
I know people find that hard. I always think it's funny when I go to a client's house and the dog has like jumping issues or barking issues, and they never do it. They rarely do it to me. And the owner is often like, oh my gosh, he's never this calm and settled. And you know why? I act like the dog doesn't exist.
acknowledge them.
I come into the home and I say hi to the owner and I introduce myself and I say a quick, hey doggy, and then it's like, okay, tell me what your problem is. Let's go sit down somewhere. And all I do is ignore the dog. If the dog is real bad, I say, put a leash on the dog, please, so it stops jumping all over me. And that's it for the first session. Well, for the first 10, 15 minutes. And usually by the end of that chat, the dog is asleep and not interested in me anymore because I'm not interested in the dog.
Yep. I think as well, if you think about it in this context, if it was a child and they were running up and they were screaming at someone,
Mm,
right, demanding attention, would you respond the same way, let the child do that as you would to your dog? Would you actually respond the same way, or would you say, hey, cut it out, that's rude?
well, with this day and age in parenting, I don't know what people would choose.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I would hope that at least, even if you're one of those parents that never tells your kid off, you wouldn't let them go up and jump on people and demand their attention, right?
No.
And when I've gone to clients' houses, some of them are actually offended when I've asked them to keep their dog like either tethered or separated when I come in the house, especially if I know it's a jumping up issue. I don't let them just like let their dog as soon as I come in the door jump up on me. It has to be on a leash or it has to be separated. And some of them are like, oh, okay. And I'll literally come through the door and they're like, oh, do you want me to go get them? I'm like, no,
I
no.
don't need your
Like
dog right
we
now.
can have a chat first. We can have a discussion first. And it's like almost like, oh my God, you don't want to meet my dog. I'm like, no, because we need to talk about this and your dog can come in when we're ready to have a conversation. And like you said, half the time the dog's on leash. Once we've stopped, the dog will often be lying down by my feet because they haven't had any interaction whatsoever.
Exactly. I see this a lot as well when dogs are on leash, but it's outside. Like
Mm.
at the start of my group classes, and people want to say hi to me or they want to ask me a question. The dog gets really excited and they try to jump on me. And instead of standing still like a statue, they move with the dog.
Yes,
You
that's
know, and
exactly.
I move backwards away from them, and
And
they
then they're
move
coming
towards
forward.
me, and then
Yeah.
I have to keep going back and like, and then to me, it's the most obvious thing. Just I'm moving away from you, so your dog doesn't scratch me up. Stop following your dog. And then I have to actually say to us, like, and I have to say it to people, stop. I'm moving away so they can't jump on me. Stand still with your dog.
I think that is a big thing as well, is people cannot not follow their dogs, which is the
Mm,
same thing that she has just said, that
yeah.
like this dog, plant your feet on the ground or go the opposite direction. Wherever your dog is trying to go, you're going to go the opposite direction. You're going to teach them. You don't get to just tell us where to go all the time. We'll go for a
Exactly.
walk, but you're not pulling me places. Just doing that as well makes a difference. Don't let your dog pull you. Like same with like walking on leash. Your dog's allowed to sniff, but they're not allowed to just tow you
Mm,
to the next grass part. Like they can sniff it, but they're not allowed to pull you. It's all this
exactly.
kind of stuff, this relationship stuff.
Mm. It is really important, those type of things. And look, those are all, what would you call it, disciplinary?
I think like I
I
think
mean, to me, they're
that's
so
the thing, isn't it?
minor.
It's just you just but to me I think that that is minor. Like if she's really not wanting to like use like a spray bottle correction or something, just
Fair
doing
enough.
this stuff I think would help.
Yeah,
Stop
agreed.
I think if you make a real habit of, if you're really determined to not correct your dog, just stop letting your dog interact with guests at the beginning when they're on leash. And then once the guests are in and if the dog's calm, keep the leash on your dog.
I was about to say that.
So that if they go to play out no and just bring them over, that's still a discipline. You're removing the dog away and they have to come sit by you.
Mm,
But to me, that's still a correction. You're removing what they want. To
yeah,
me, that's not abusive or mean or anything. You're just saying, well, if
neither.
you're not going to be polite, you have to come sit over here with me, and that's boring.
Exactly. And I think that is important to say that as well. I think a lot of people think like, oh, if Fido is calm now for 30 seconds, let's take the leash off. And then the moment the leash comes off, woof, it's like, leave it on, just let him drag it around for a bit. I would potentially use some body pressure as well, unless the dog jumps on you. But again, I think the main problem for this person is that she has it in her head that she can't correct it
Yeah.
at all.
And I would, oh, sorry, you go.
Oh, I was gonna say, and I think in this case, treats are not gonna do anything
No,
because you should see every single pet the dog gets as a treat.
an
Every
intention.
single person that sits down and pets him and smoozes him and all that kind of stuff, that is the same as giving him food.
I would say that the food doesn't even override the drive.
I
Like
don't think
we
so
just he's
either.
probably like, oh sweet, I'm getting food and I'm getting pets. Like, cool, that's great. And I was gonna say something else. Um, I'll come back to I have a thing. But yeah, the I think the arousal as well, if you're just rewarding with food and stuff, you're just encouraging them to stay in that state of mind as well. Oh, that was what I was going to say. Because she's never told off her dog as well and it's done all this, I think even just these minor things, which to me are just they're just basic foundations, they're not even like necessarily all corrections. I
Hmm.
feel like this will be a shock to the dog as well, just like not allowing them to
Oh
do
my
these
God, boundaries.
boundaries. I feel like even just this, because the dog has never had these things, would be quite effective in itself.
Hmm. Very, very true.
Mm.
And then you also have the option to step on the lead.
Yeah, yeah.
But that only works if the dog isn't on a harness. And I'm gonna go out on a limb, and this one will be on a harness.
That is one thing I would recommend though, is not if you're doing this leash stuff, is you have to have them on a collar because if you have them on a harness, they use all their pressure in their body. If you can't navigate the head at all, they can use all their body pressure and still pull up, like up towards people.
Exactly. It's useless because the leash will be like halfway down the dog's body
Hmm.
before you even like just the whole front of their body is just doing whatever it wants.
I think another good exercise for her to practice, especially when the people come and we've both done it on both of our channels, is to sit on the dog.
Oh, totally.
Putting your, if you also, like you said, stand on the lead, the dog can't jump upwards. It stops them and they actually correct themselves back down. Again, it's still a correction, but to me, I don't think that's a harsh correction. Like a dog just jumping up, they're
Yeah,
just going, okay, that's just not comfortable. Start with that. Like once you've dropped the lead, you walk around following the dog when the people are walking and following around. And as soon as they go to jump, stand on it. No, stand on the lead. Oh, okay. If I'd a pop when I jump up, okay, I'm not going to do that.
exactly.
Yeah. And then
Works
when
real fast.
yeah, and then when you're all sitting down, just relaxing, you
Mm,
just put the leash under your feet. The dog can't move anywhere and they have to learn to settle.
exactly. Loads of options there that aren't punishments in the form that she probably thinks there's punishment needed. I think the comments are very oh yeah, they're gonna do a sound like a make a yelp sound so your dog understands.
Oh, that doesn't
I
work.
don't know, man. To
Yeah.
me, that's like an endless. It really depends on the dog. Like Zelda would get just start barking at me if I would try that with her. She'd be like, "Yeah, cool. I love this game. We're all making noise now."
My dogs wouldn't care. They'll just be like, okay, cool, whatever. I'll just keep jumping. It's fine.
Exactly.
Dog definitely needs more boundaries.
That's it. All
Yeah.
right. Go on.
Nope, that's it.
Cool. All right. Oh, how have you stopped your dog from jumping before? Maybe you have a method that we haven't covered yet. Um, are you still struggling and are you going to try any of these methods? Let us know in the comments and then we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.